The Golden State Warriors are once again attracting serious attention heading into the 2025 to 2026 NBA season. After a somewhat uneven 2024 to 2025 campaign, they have made deliberate moves to bolster their roster and re-establish their identity. Rather than reinvent themselves entirely, they have refined their core by adding high-character veterans and locking in younger talent. With the arrivals of Al Horford and Anthony Melton, alongside the contract renewals of Jonathan Kuminga and Gary Payton II, the Warriors are aiming for balance, experience, defense, energy, and growth all in the same mix. Al Horford brings a calming veteran presence. While he may no longer be at the athletic peak of his youth, his basketball IQ, versatility, can shoot from the perimeter, pass from the post, defend multiple positions, and leadership make him an ideal fit for the system coach Steve Kerr runs. Horford provides another dimension. In previous seasons, the Warriors sometimes struggled when their bigs got exposed defensively or when spacing collapsed. Horford helps handle both. His role extends beyond statistics. It includes mentoring younger players, stabilizing rotations, and bringing a level of consistency in half-court sets. DeAnthony Melton is the modern glue player the Warriors lacked at times. He is energetic, strong on the perimeter defensively, can guard multiple positions, force turnovers, and in transition turn defense into offense. His fit beside the likes of Stephen Curry and other shooters is logical. He doesn't demand the ball to be effective, he moves, cuts, spot-ups, and defends. In preseason scrimmages, the chemistry between Melton and the veteran core has already hinted at promise. Those hustle plays, the deflections, the fast breaks initiated by stops have been showing up. Locking in Jonathan Kuminga on a new deal was a smart long-term and short-term move. Kuminga has shown the physical tools, athleticism, length, strength, to impact both ends, and now he's entering the stage where refinement of his decision-making and consistency matter. The Warriors are ensuring their future while also trying to win now. Gary Payton II remains a key part of the identity. Relentless on defense, unafraid, brings fearlessness. Having him back ensures that the team retains its defensive spine and hustle culture. In the 2025 preseason, the Warriors offered glimpses of a team rejuvenating itself. The offense looked smoother, ball movement improved, more off-ball motion, better spacing. Curry looked refreshed, focused. His leadership is more important than ever. The younger players such as Kuminga and others seemed more ready to contribute, showing less hesitancy. On defense, the team appeared more cohesive, rotations tighter, communication improved, and the new additions seemed to have bought into the system. The bench showed signs of stronger production, which was an area of concern in previous seasons. Yet, challenges remain. Steve Kerr must find the right balance between giving veteran minutes and developing the young core. Managing player minutes, avoiding fatigue and injury, especially with the older veterans, will be key. Rebounding, particularly when switching to smaller lineups, still needs attention. Offensively, the Warriors must guard against stagnation. When the ball stops moving, when Curry is forced to hero ball, they become less efficient. Trusting the younger guys to step up and maintain consistency, while still winning now, is a delicate task. Curry remains the heart and engine. His conditioning, his leadership, his ability to draw attention and create for others all remain elite. The window isn't infinite, the Warriors know this. The urgency is real. The blend of veterans like Horford, Melton, Payton, and younger contributors like Kuminga creates a roster that might sneak up on some. Opponents may still view the Warriors as fading, but this group seems ready to fight again. Steve Kerr's message is clear: identity matters, defense matters, movement matters. They are not trying to blow up the system that has delivered championships. They are refining it, evolving it. The Western Conference will be stacked, but the Warriors once again are in the conversation not just as an afterthought, but as a contender. The 2025 to 2026 season tip-off will tell us a lot. Health, chemistry, depth, all will be tested. But if the preseason is any guide, the Warriors are no longer the old team in decline. They are a retooled contender with the hunger to prove themselves. And in the NBA, you never count out a team with championship DNA and a renewed sense of purpose. Golden State Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga might have just signed a new deal, but his name is already surfacing in trade rumors once again. Despite his athleticism and flashes of brilliance, there are still doubts about how well his style fits into Steve Kerr's system. According to a new report, the Warriors could consider moving him in a blockbuster trade that brings in a $112 million rising star. The proposed deal, shared by Nathaniel Holloway of Athlon Sports, suggests Golden State could send Kuminga, Moses Moody, and draft picks to the New Orleans Pelicans in exchange for Trey Murphy III and a reunion with Kevin Looney. Murphy, a smooth-shooting 3-and-D wing, is seen as a perfect complement for the Warriors' offense, a player who can stretch the floor, defend multiple positions, and fits seamlessly alongside veterans like Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. Murphy's numbers last season tell the story. In 53 games, he averaged over 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists while shooting more than 45% from the field. Now entering the first year of his 4-year, $112 million contract, the 25-year-old looks ready to take another leap. For Golden State, landing Murphy could be both a short-term boost and a long-term investment as the team plans for a future beyond the Curry-Green era. Even with all the trade talk, the Warriors are entering the new season with renewed optimism. The addition of veteran center Al Horford gives them a reliable presence in the paint, someone who brings experience, leadership, and defensive intelligence. As ESPN analyst Tim Legler noted, Horford's impact goes far beyond the box score. His ability to facilitate offense, space the floor, and anchor the defense makes him a natural fit for the Warriors' system. At 39, Horford may not post huge scoring numbers, but his influence on winning is undeniable. He knows how to make the right reads, communicate on defense, and mentor younger players, qualities that could make a major difference as Golden State pushes for another playoff run. For now, the Warriors aren't in a rush to shake up the roster. The front office wants to see how the current group performs before the February trade deadline. Still, if Trey Murphy becomes available and the Pelicans show interest, expect Golden State to at least pick up the phone. A swap involving Kuminga might be painful, but if it brings another two-way star to the Bay Area, it could be the kind of move that extends the Warriors' dynasty for years to come. The evening light at Chase Center flickers against the hardwood floor as speculation swirls through San Francisco like a storm that refuses to settle. For months, the Golden State Warriors have tried to silence whispers of decline, but now those whispers have become a roar. According to league insiders, the Warriors' front office is exploring what could become one of the most seismic trades in modern NBA history, a move to acquire Milwaukee Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo. The rumor first surfaced quietly, mentioned by analysts like Matt Moore, who suggested that the Warriors might be willing to part ways with defensive icon Draymond Green to bring in the two-time MVP. It was an idea that seemed almost too bold to be true, but in today's NBA, where power can shift overnight, no scenario feels impossible. Behind closed doors, Golden State's executives are said to be debating a fundamental question: how long can the dynasty endure? With Stephen Curry still dazzling at 37, and Jimmy Butler newly added to reinforce the core, the Warriors are balancing on a fragile edge between nostalgia and ambition. Their off-season had been largely quiet except for the veteran signing of Al Horford, a move that signaled both experience and age. This roster, already one of the oldest in the league, carries the weight of legacy and expectation. But as one team official reportedly put it, "We either evolve, or we fade." The conversation about evolution now centers on Giannis, a player whose ferocity and athleticism could inject new life into the Bay Area franchise. The rumor gained traction after several sources hinted that Milwaukee, frustrated by repeated playoff disappointments, might be open to listening to blockbuster offers. The Bucks have struggled to build consistent momentum despite Giannis's individual dominance. Their championship in 2021 feels like a distant memory, and the surrounding roster no longer mirrors the strength it once had. The proposed deal would send Draymond Green, young talents Moses Moody and Brandon Podziemski, sharpshooter Buddy Hield, and 2 future first-round picks to the Bucks. In return, the Warriors would land Antetokounmpo and his $175 million contract, a figure that speaks to both his market value and his superstardom. Analysts were quick to debate the implications. For Golden State, Such a move could extend their championship window far beyond Curry's twilight years. For Milwaukee, it would mark the end of an era but also offer a path toward renewal with youthful assets and flexibility. This would be a redefinition of the league's power structure, one ESPN insider remarked. Giannis alongside Curry changes everything about spacing, tempo, and defense. It's not just another super team, it's a strategic reinvention. In the locker room, reactions are said to be mixed. Draymond Green, whose intensity has defined the Warriors' defense for over a decade, has often been the emotional engine of their dynasty. Trading him would mean dismantling part of the team's soul. Yet even he has publicly acknowledged that this league is about change, a cryptic statement that many fans interpreted as awareness of the rumors. Stephen Curry, meanwhile, has reportedly maintained his calm demeanor, focusing on preseason preparation and avoiding any comment that could add fuel to speculation. Still, observers note that Curry and Giannis share mutual respect, having praised each other in interviews for years. Their potential pairing feels like destiny to some, a perfect blend of shooting brilliance and physical dominance. Economically, the move would also shake up the NBA's salary hierarchy. The Warriors already sit deep within the luxury tax, but owner Joe Lacob has never shied away from spending in pursuit of excellence. Bringing Giannis to the Bay would push the payroll into unprecedented territory, but the global market impact could offset the cost. Jersey sales, international broadcasts, and renewed ticket demand could turn the Warriors once again into the league's most valuable brand. Marketing experts predict that a Curry-Giannis-Butler trio could rival the fame once held by LeBron's Miami Heat or the Durant-era Warriors. From a basketball perspective, analysts have begun to imagine the possibilities. The addition of stretch bigs like Al Horford and Quinton Post means that spacing would no longer be an issue. Giannis could operate freely in the paint while Curry devastates opponents from the arc. Butler's defensive grit and mid-range control would complete the triangle of skills, forming what some describe as a modern hybrid of power and precision. Even opposing coaches are reportedly bracing for what such a combination might mean. If that trade happens, one Western Conference scout admitted, we'll all need new defensive playbooks. For now, though, nothing is official. Both teams are said to be patient, waiting until mid-season to assess their trajectories. Golden State wants to see if its current roster can still compete with powerhouses like Denver and Dallas. Milwaukee, meanwhile, hopes that small adjustments might keep Giannis satisfied enough to stay. Yet whispers persist that the Greek freak has grown restless, yearning for a new challenge and a deeper chance at multiple championships before his prime fades. You can't waste years in this league, an anonymous league executive said. Giannis wants legacy, not just loyalty. As fans flood social media, the debate has become global. On X, formerly known as Twitter, hashtags like #GiannisToGSW and #Big3 Bay Area have trended for days. Some fans celebrate the idea as a rebirth of Warriors' dominance, others condemn it as another example of superstar consolidation ruining parity. Memes, jersey edits, and mock highlight. The Golden State Warriors are entering the 2025-26 NBA season with a mix of ambition, urgency, and quiet confidence. A team that once dominated the league with flair and precision now faces the test of time. Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler headline a roster that's been through every possible championship war, but the story this year feels different. It's about survival, about extending greatness one more season, and maybe, about adding one more Warrior to the mix. For months, the Warriors' offseason was frozen in silence. Everything hinged on one thing: Jonathan Kuminga's contract saga. The young forward, a symbol of the franchise's future, entered restricted free agency with no clear path forward. Negotiations dragged on as other teams moved swiftly, and for the first time in years, Golden State looked stuck. Without clarity on Kuminga, no deals could be finalized, no upgrades could be made. But then came October, and the breakthrough the Bay had been waiting for. The Warriors and Kuminga reached a new 2-year deal, officially ending the standoff that had paralyzed their summer. Instantly, the franchise shifted gears. The front office went from waiting to working. Within days, Golden State signed Al Horford, adding veteran leadership and defensive intelligence to their frontcourt. They reunited the Curry brothers, bringing in Seth Curry to add shooting depth and family chemistry. Soon after came D'Anthony Melton, a versatile two-way guard, and the return of Gary Payton II, the relentless defender who helped define the Warriors' identity in 2022. Suddenly, the roster felt deep again, layered with experience, shooting, and defense. The message was clear: the Warriors weren't ready to fade quietly into the background. They were reloading for one last serious run. And then, just as things seemed to settle, the rumors started. Reports surfaced that the Warriors were among the betting favorites to sign Russell Westbrook, the 36-year-old former MVP who had just completed a strong season with the Denver Nuggets. Few would have predicted it. After all, this was Russell Westbrook, one of the fiercest competitors and longtime rivals of Stephen Curry. The man who had stared him down in playoffs, matched him triple-double for triple-double, and once symbolized everything opposite of the Warriors' elegant style of play. But beneath the surface, the idea made sense. Last season, Westbrook proved he could still produce at a high level, averaging 13.3 points, 4.9 rebounds, 6.1 assists, and 1.4 steals per game, while shooting efficiently for a veteran guard. He had embraced his role off the bench in Denver, showing leadership and energy that could stabilize any second unit. For a Warriors team lacking a true backup point guard, the fit looked intriguing. Steph Curry, now 37, can't play 38 minutes a night forever. Chris Paul was gone. The team needed someone who could control tempo, push the pace, and create offense when Curry sat. And Westbrook, for all his polarizing style, still brought unmatched intensity and competitiveness. Sportsbooks reflected the growing buzz. According to BetUS, the Warriors had the fourth best odds, plus 300, to sign Westbrook, behind the Kings, Rockets, and Mavericks. The Knicks were fifth. For fans, it sparked imagination and debate. What would it look like to see Westbrook in a Warriors uniform? Imagine this: Curry rests. The Chase Center crowd buzzes as Westbrook checks in. He drives coast to coast, draws defenders, kicks it out to Seth Curry in the corner, splash. On the next play, he finds Kuminga cutting baseline for a dunk. The rhythm changes. The bench ignites. The Warriors' second unit, once a weakness, suddenly becomes a weapon. There's risk, of course. Westbrook's game thrives on pace, power, and control, qualities that sometimes clash with Golden State's motion-heavy, pass-first offense. But under Steve Kerr's system, players like Westbrook could rediscover balance. The Warriors don't need him to be an MVP. They need him to be a spark, a veteran floor general capable of keeping energy high and the tempo fast when the starters rest. Around the league, opinions were split. Some analysts argued that Westbrook's passion and leadership would bring fresh fire to an aging locker room. Others warned that adding such a dominant personality to an already complex dynamic could disrupt chemistry. Yet, no one could deny that if there was any team capable of maximizing unique talents, it was the Golden State Warriors. The question wasn't just whether Westbrook would join them. It was what the move would symbolize. For the Warriors, signing Westbrook wouldn't simply be about filling a roster spot. It would be a statement that even with their championship core aging, they refused to stop competing. It would show that they're still willing to evolve, to adapt, to take risks in pursuit of greatness. For Westbrook, it would be redemption. A chance to chase a ring alongside the very players who once stood in his way. A chance to rewrite the ending of a legendary career. As the season draws near, Westbrook remains unsigned, watching from the sidelines as the league reshapes itself again. But if the Warriors struggle to find consistency early, or if Curry needs more rest, the door could swing open. And when that happens, Golden State might just make the call. Because for all their history, all their banners, and all their glory, the Warriors have never stopped believing in one thing: that every season is another chance to prove the dynasty isn't done yet. And if that belief ever aligns with Russell Westbrook's hunger to win, the league better be ready. Welcome back, Warriors Inside. Today, we're diving deep into a story every Golden State Warriors fan has been waiting for: the moment Jonathan Kuminga finally gets the spotlight he deserves. With Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, Alabama Horford, and Moses Moody resting, the court belongs to the young gun from the Congo, the athletic forward who's been fighting for a real role since he entered the league. Tonight, it's Kuminga time. This is his big break, and maybe, just maybe, the first chapter of a new Warriors era. The scene is set preseason, Sunday night. The lights of Chase Center are bright, but the lineup is different. Coach Steve Kerr surprises everyone. No Steph, no Butler, no Horford, no Moody. Instead, he hands the keys to the young core: Brandon Podziemski, Buddy Hield, Draymond Green, Quinton Post, and of course, Jonathan Kuminga. For fans who've been following Kuminga since his G League Ignite days, this is what we've all been waiting for. The raw athleticism. The power. The spark. And tonight, with the stars sitting out, all eyes are on him. Kerr's message is clear. Show us what you've got. As the ball tips, Kuminga wastes no time asserting himself. His first drive, explosive. His defense, tight. He's communicating, rotating, setting screens, and crashing boards like a man who knows this might define his season. To understand the weight of this moment, we have to rewind. Kuminga's story isn't just about basketball. It's about patience, pride, and persistence. Drafted in 2021, he joined a dynasty, a team led by legends, where minutes are earned the hard way. From the beginning, he had to watch and learn. Curry ran the show. Klay Thompson was chasing history. Draymond Green commanded the defense. For a young player with star ambitions, it wasn't easy. But behind the scenes, Kuminga kept grinding: 6 a.m. workouts, endless film study, and quiet nights thinking about what it takes to become great. He once said, "I have too much confidence. The sky is the limit." And tonight, that belief is being tested on the hardwood. For Steve Kerr, managing talent has always been an art form. Balancing egos, experience, and potential, that's what keeps dynasties alive. But Kuminga's situation is unique. Kerr admits it himself. It's been an interesting fit. How do you develop a young star when you're still chasing championships? That's been the Warriors' struggle since 2022. While Jordan Poole got his chance to shine, and eventually his ticket out, Kuminga's minutes fluctuated. Sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 5. Sometimes he closed games, sometimes he didn't even touch the floor. And yet, through all that, he stayed ready. That's what makes tonight so important.